Hello, everybody, and welcome. Here comes Dennis. Come on, bro. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to a Bad Service Podcast. My name's Katie. I'm your host. And you might be wondering, where is the person that I'm interviewing? Well, it's your lucky day. It's me. I'm interviewing myself. I got some notes right here, some stuff and we're just gonna chat. Okay, we're just gonna talk about a little bit about me and about my experience in the restaurant industry, kind of like what I've been through, and just kind of how I got here, talking to you guys in the camera. And mind you, this is your guys' first time seeing me on camera. So hi, yes, this is what I look like. I look so cute. I'm just kidding. Okay, don't mind me. This is like literally my first time like doing content creation. And it's very weird. Like very weird. Like you think that you know like what you're going to do. Like it's hard to explain. Like you think to yourself, I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to talk to the camera. I'm going to be myself. It's going to be great. But then the moment you start recording and I swear I'm going to kill this fucking cat. Yeah, no, the minute you start recording, you just blank. Like it's like the weirdest thing. Like you just blank and you don't know what to do. And then when you try to be yourself, you just get you feel like you're out of your comfort zone. It's just really weird. I'm not used to it, but this is not why we're here. We're here to talk about my experience. But yeah, no, it's just like this is really weird. So yeah, this is the first time, you guys are seeing me. Hello, hi, how's it going? But yeah, we're just gonna kind of get right into it. And before we do, look at my cute little mug. I'm the protagonist. I am the protagonist. Okay. I guess we'll start off with, yes, I have two mugs. This is water. Please don't mind me. But I guess we're gonna start with, how did I get here? Well, we're just gonna start from the beginning. We are gonna talk about, my first ever job. Well, no, we're not going to talk about my first ever job. Well, I guess we could talk about it a little bit. I started working when I was 17. I worked at Wendy's. That was my first ever job. How exciting. Yes, I saw how disgusting chili was being made and how we use leftover burger meat to make our chili. And I just really got a good taste for like what what people were really like, I guess you would say. And I just feel like everybody needs to work at some type of like customer service job, like for their first job, to like really understand what people are like. And it's essential. Like, I mean, it really builds character, and it built me for sure, because I was not like this years ago. Like that was 2017. I'm 25 turning 26 now, so I don't know, you do the math. But anyways, it was a lot. It was like very shocking. I remember the first time I saw somebody getting cussed out, like an employee get cussed out by a customer. Oh my god, this fucking cat. He's so annoying. But yeah, I saw him the first time. I don't even remember how it happened because this was like forever ago. But I do remember me sitting there with my jaw on the floor, staring at this guy cussing out one of our employees because he didn't get a burger. And it just really makes you think like, damn, this is how people are. Like, and you think to yourself, it's like, is this just the one person, or is this just really how people are like with their food? So, I quit that job, and my first ever serving job was, oh my god, Dennis, you're so annoying. Dennis. Oh yeah, he's definitely getting out of the room. I'm getting him out of this room. All right. Anyways, let's get back to what we were talking about. So, what was I saying? Oh, yes. So, my first ever serving job, okay, was, a little local restaurant. And I did not know what I was getting myself into yet again. And I mean, before this job, I was working at like little places like Panera or Target, like just like random stuff. And first of all, never work in retail. That shit, I don't know what's worse. You guys tell me what's worse. God, this cat's so annoying. He's underneath the dresser right now. Oh my God. I can't. Though he was doing so well. He was doing so... Hold on. Please give me a moment. Dennis, cut it out. What was I talking about? Now I forget things because of this fucking doofus. Okay. So, yeah, you guys let me know in the comments which one's worse. Retail or the restaurant? Or I don't know, how do I say that? I don't want to say like the restaurant, like service industry. Like customer service. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. Retail or service industry. Okay? Because I don't know which one's worse. I in my opinion, because I also worked at TJ Maxx as just like, person who stocked shelves and all that. I was only at Target for like a week, but that's besides the point. And I was like working in the back. Like I wasn't even like really like around people. So I don't really think that job counts. But I was working at TJ Maxx and I was like the person that would, stock the shelves and do all that other stuff. And I wasn't a cashier, and I feel like that's where people get like the worst of it. But I don't know. Like I have so much experience working in the restaurants where I think that the restaurant is worse, but that's just my opinion. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. But anyways, so my first ever serving job, local restaurant, I was very bad at my job. I was so bad at it because I wasn't working for a little bit, and my previous job was Panera and I got fired there. So I really needed to work at a place, and I just, was told that servers make some good money. So I was like, okay, let me just do that. Let me just go ahead and serve. And I just went ahead and I did it. And I remember the lady that was training me, you could tell that she was there for like too long. Like she was like one of those ladies who just, I call her a lady because she was like a little bit older than me. And she's just like one of those girls to where she's like gets mad at the littlest things, it's like your table can like ask for like ranch. And I actually remember this was so funny. So she was, how your first week goes when you're training and serving, you're following the person who's training you along, and she shows you how to greet tables, do the steps of service, all that good stuff. And then you're just following along with her, and she shows you how to take care of tables. And so that's what we were doing this one day. We were just taking care of tables. And I remember her table kept asking her for stuff. And it was really funny because they were like, can we get some napkins? And she's like, oh yeah, of course. And then she gave her napkins, and then she was like, can I get some ranch? And the girl was like, yeah, you can get ranch. And I remember going to the back with her, and she was so mad that they asked for ranch. And I'm just like thinking to her, I'm like, it's really not that serious. But I mean, of course, now I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like her now. I'm like, oh yeah, you bitches want ranch. I'm just like I'm so over it. She was like up to here with it. She's like, these motherfuckers want ranch. I'm gonna give them some fucking ranch. And she just starts grabbing a whole thing of ranch, and then she gives it to them at the table. And I'm just like, it is not that deep. Mind you, this is my first ever serving job. So I'm just like, yeah, it's like not that deep. But now I would have reacted the same way because they kept like asking for stuff like previously to that. So I was like, oh yeah, I would have reacted the same exact way. But yeah, that was like my first ever serving job. And as I kept serving, I realized just how much people suck. Like, it's just, people are just, it's hard to explain. There's like layers to this shit, People just really are just not the nicest people. And a good example of this, I would say, so I had to take my first ever party before, 12 top, by the way. Not a fun time. I feel like any time when you're a server and you have to take a party for the first time, it just never goes well. Like, you can prepare as much as you want, but it is just not gonna go well. I mean, maybe you're lucky. Maybe you do, do a good job. Wow, I can't talk. Maybe you do a good job and whatever. But for me, that was just not the case. So it was like a bunch of people my age, basically. Well, yes, hello. I keep getting interrupted. But okay. So, oh my God, did you hear that? That sounded weird. So, okay. Yeah, it was a bunch of people my age. Well, a little bit older than me. They were like, because I was probably 18, 19 at the time. No, I was 19 because you had to be a server at 19. So I remember I was 19. The people that I was taking care of was probably like 20 or like early 20s. So, I mean, they were still around like my age. So I'm sitting there taking care of them and, writing down, and I don't know what I'm doing. And it's like, yeah, like I had, training and stuff, but I just felt overwhelmed. And it was just because there were so many people and this is my first ever party. So, I'm like taking, people are like asking stuff at like the same time, which is super annoying, by the way. Please don't do that. They're asking for things at the same exact time. I'm sitting here trying to write things down. And then you know how people are when they're like, I'm going to be on like that person's check, and they're like diagonal, like 3 seats to the left kind of thing. And then I'm going to buy this person's drink, and then you can put their appetizer on mine. So it's just like things like that, to where I was so overwhelmed and I fucked that party up so bad. I did not know whose check was who. First of all, I put everything on one check or one seat, and I was trying to split it at the end. Don't do that. That was a big mistake. And I just remember, like, this one guy, he was getting ready to leave because everybody was asking for their check. And I'm sitting there trying to, separate their checks, and I'm like freaking out because I don't know whose check is who. And this guy is like asking me for like a top for his like bucket. And I'm like, yes, I will get you a top. And I'm like sitting here trying to like figure everything out. And I keep forgetting to get this guy's top. And he was so mad that I forgot to get the top for his bucket. He literally left without paying his check. He left with the bucket with no top on it. It was like, all right, guys, I'll see you later. And then he's literally walking out with this like bucket. It was just open because I kept forgetting to get the top for the bucket. And then the other people are starting to leave, and they, didn't pay for their bill. So like we had to comp like half of the shit off, and it was just a really bad experience. And that's just kind of the first time that I realized that what I was getting myself into, basically. And yeah, it was really, really, really stressful. And just kind of going throughout the years, I got a little bit better being a server, and I, it was good money. So I just kind of kept doing it. I was just doing my thing a little bit. And then I remember I wanted to, what am I saying? Oh, yeah. I remember, here goes Dennis. My cat is just going to kind of be in the frame because he is just his own character, his own personality. But okay. But okay, I remember it was probably like a year or two into serving. I was also trying to be a cosmetologist. Obviously, that didn't work out too well. But I remember I was moving down to North Carolina. That was a time. So he's like literally doing gymnastics. Like, can't you just, my other two cats are just still, they're not moving. They're just relaxing. But of course, this guy, as soon as I hit the fucking record button, he wants to just do backflips and start running around. But okay. So I decided I want to move to North Carolina. My ex was there at the time. So I went ahead and did that. And, I kind of left the restaurant industry a little bit. And I tried to do what are those people called? Where they're like the customer service, but like, when you call like a bank and then they like answer like, I don't know what it's called. I can't think of it at the top of my head. I feel like I know it, but I can't remember. It's like on the tip of my tongue. But I was doing that from home. So I was working from home. So a call center. I was like a call center basically, but I was working from home and I did disputes and things like that. And it was just really not it. Really not it. Every time or every day I would log into work, this old lady, she would call the line and she would just bitch us out. And it's the same lady. Like every day I would come into work or, log in. I would get a call from the same person, this old lady, 80-year-old lady, bitching about some dispute that we already disputed like a year ago. And I guess did not like us and just wants to keep, bitching every single day that I log into work. And I just had to take it and just be like, is there anything else I can help you with today? Like, I don't know what you want me to do. So that job was just it was a little depressing, I would say. I just did not like the way people were over the phone. And if you do work customer service over the phone, I am so sorry for you. Like, that has to be the worst job because I feel like that is worse than working in the restaurant and being a server. Because people are so mean over the phone because you're not physically right in front of that person. They are just sitting there, just talking on the phone with somebody. So I feel like it's so easy for people to, start yelling over the phone. And it was not my cup of tea. It really was not my cup of tea. And I was only there for like 2 months and I'm like, yeah, I have to leave. I have to leave. I can't be here anymore. So I did not know what I was going to do. I was living in this apartment with my ex and I was like, yeah, I just really need to find a job. So that's when I decided to work at Applebee's. And this was fun. I liked Applebee's. I walked there from my apartment because I didn't have a car. So I would walk there every day to work. And I remember just, working the morning shift with all the morning crew. And it was like a really fun like vibe. Like, I mean, we only had three tables in our section. So it wasn't like I was making the best money. But the people there were really cool and everybody was like very nice. And that's why I feel like morning shift is way better than night shift because I remember working night shift there once and it was like completely different vibe. Like this short guy that I worked with, because I'm 5'7", 5'8", 5'7", I don't know. 5'7.5", I guess, whatever you want to fucking call it. This guy like, and this is how I know, like, like people in North Carolina are like kind of weird because this guy like comes up to me. He's like, "Why are you so tall?" I'm like, "I am not tall." I'm like, I mean, I guess I'm a little tall, but this guy's like 4'10", maybe 5 foot. I don't know, but he's just sitting there like looking up at me like that, and I'm like, I don't know. I didn't ask Jesus why he made me so tall. Like it's just like people were just really weird, and I was like, I miss working morning shift because why are the night people always so weird? Like it just doesn't make any sense to me. And I feel like working down in North Carolina was very different from working in up here in Ohio because I don't know, like it just was a different vibe. My job up here in Ohio, it was very like, how do I explain it? I feel like the cooks feel like they had more control than the servers and bartenders. If I'm making sense, like they didn't take our crap kind of thing. Like we would complain and like yell at them all the time. Like, why aren't you making my food fast enough? Why is there tomatoes on this burger? I put no tomatoes, like stuff like that. And the cooks would be like, don't fucking yell at me. Like, get out of my face kind of thing. And North Carolina, it was very like, and I remember working the night shift for the first time. And this one girl, she was there for like 2 years, 2+ years. She was working there for a while. And she like got so mad at this one. I don't even know how to explain it. It was like a whole different, like, I was so shocked. It was just a whole different vibe. She was so mad that her food, was taking like 20 minutes. Mind you, I come from like Ohio, and I don't think every place in Ohio is like this, but the restaurant that I was at, you would be waiting 25 minutes for your food, and that's just how it was. Like, they just did not cook your food fast. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know if they just didn't give a fuck or they just never cooked their food under the 20-minute time mark. Like, that's just how it was. And so, working in an Applebee's in North Carolina, if their food went, like, to 20 minutes, all hell was gonna raise loose. Like, it was crazy. This lady, this girl that I'm working with, she's yelling at the cooks like, why the fuck are you making my food? It's on 20 minutes right now, yada yada yada, and just screaming at this one cook. This poor cook, like, they look like they're getting like, I can't. They're like so like he looks like he's gonna cry. Like that's what it looked like. Like the one cook, he had his headphones in because like he just didn't want to hear her bitch anymore. The other cook, he's just sitting there like ready to cry that, she's yelling at him. And I just am so shocked because I've never experienced this before. Cause I'm like, and back at home, this was like the complete opposite, I would say. Like I would be the one that's crying, the server, not the cook. I'm like, why is the cook crying? And it was just one of those things, I guess, to where I don't know if it's just like the place that I was at or the state difference. I don't know, but it was a very, very different vibe. And I really did like it there, though. It was very nice. The only thing I didn't like was making like sweet tea for like the 5th time in a row because, that's just how people, down there are, I guess. They just really like sweet tea. But I really did like it there. But I guess I feel like I was getting a little bit burnt out because I just did not want to be in the service industry or the restaurant industry. I just really didn't like it. And even though the money was good, the people were really nice. Like I worked really well with everybody. It's not something that I wanted to do. And so I decided to, quit there and put my 2 weeks in, and I decided to move back home. And I tried to get my cosmetology license and excuse me. Yeah, I tried to get my cosmetology license and I ended up getting it, and I was working at a salon for a little bit. But while I was working at a salon, I had to go through training, and it was like training to be a cosmetologist. I mean, no, I know I got my license, but it was hard to explain. Like, they still wanted you to go through some type of training there. And it was like a month program. Really, really cool. And I learned a lot of stuff, but I realized I wasn't getting a lot of money because I was only a receptionist. So I decided to, work at my old job again, which was like the local restaurant I was at. And I decided to do that for a bit. And I was just working 2 jobs for a bit. I was probably like 3 months or something like that. And I, finally became a cosmetologist full-time or part-time, sorry. And I got transferred to this one salon. I was doing people's hair, and I realized I did not like it. It was not my cup of tea. It was like, it was hard because people do not play about their hair. They don't play. It was like old ladies. Well, first of all, my salon was filled with, stylists who've been there for 10 plus years. And then there was me that was there for like 3 months, not even. So when I was there, not a lot of people wanted to book with me because I didn't have all the experience like everybody else. Like, I still had experience. I still did people's hair, but it wasn't anything like everybody else. But yeah, it was very, very much an older clientele. And so it was really hard to kind of compete with some of the other clients there because the older clientele, they want their hair done a certain way. They don't really want to change their look up because they've had their look for so long. And the other client or the employees there, they, have a lot of regulars, and that's the majority of the people that would come in would be regulars. So I would get, the last minute bookings, the people or the books that, all the other employees' books were filled up or the stylist books were filled up. So I would get the overflow, or if a stylist called off and, needed somebody to do like their regular's hair, like I would be that person. And so I would get bitched out a lot because I would do these regulars' hair, and I don't do my hair like the other stylist that she usually sees. So I would get bitched out a lot, and it was just not a good time. And I just didn't really feel like I had a lot of like free roam for people's hair. Like, I wasn't able to be like creative. That's what it felt like for me. Like, when people come in, they just want this one style that they seen on Pinterest, or they've been doing their hair this one way for so long. So they just want it like that. And so that's just kind of how my life was. And if I messed it up, then it was like the end of the world, because as I said, people are very, very particular about their hair. Like, their hair is a person's like whole identity. And I know, and I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad at all, but I couldn't cater to the people like that. I couldn't do it. I was leaving with anxiety and panic attacks. It was so bad. So I realized that what a better way to make money than to work as a server again. So that's what I did. I realized, this is not for me. I told my manager, this is just really not for me. I'm so sorry, but I can't do it. And I just decided to work as a server again. And feel like I've been doing that ever since. Yeah, I think I've been doing that ever since. So, I've found other jobs here and there, but I was working at my local restaurant that I always knew. And I just kind of didn't really look back. I was serving for a bit, and then I got promoted to being a bartender. And I was really not good at bartending. Like, it was hard to do, very hard. And I guess it's just because I'm so used to doing steps of service. Like, I don't know. I remember my one friend, she was showing me how to bartend. Shout out to Cassie. She's amazing. She's a really good bartender. And I remember she was like, I don't think she's going to last. I think she was talking about me. She's like, I don't know if she's going to last, because I was just so bad. Like, I just really I was not good at it, because when you take care of people as a server, you know, greet them within the 30 seconds, get their drinks within the 2 minutes, and then you get the appetizers, and then you bring the appetizers out, check on them, and then entrees out, check on them, and then you, what else am I saying? Oh yeah. And then you ask them if they want dessert. If they get dessert, get them the dessert, check on them, get their check, get them out of here. Like, it was like a very quick, I'm always checking on you, making sure that you're good, and then I'm getting you out of here. Bartending is not that. Bartending is, they come to the bar. You don't know if they're only going to be there for 5 minutes or 5 hours. Because people come to the bar and they drink, they want to sit, they want to watch the game. Sometimes people don't want to be bothered. Sometimes people want you to talk to them. Sometimes, they want to get all their food out and get out of there within the 5 seconds. And sometimes people just, want to look at a menu for 2 hours and, just have you wait on them and get them a shitload of beers in between then. So it's just, it wasn't that I wasn't good because I didn't know what to do. It was because I just thought of it as serving, and it just wasn't like that. So I mean, of course, I've gotten better throughout the years. Definitely gotten better. I've been bartending for 3 years now. No, I don't even know at this point. I've been trapped in the restaurant industry. I can't get out. I've been here for way too long. I'm about to have a midlife crisis. No, I've just been there for, I don't know, probably 4 years I've been bartending. I don't know, something like that. But I definitely been in for a little bit now, and I definitely gotten better over the years. I definitely made a lot of mistakes though. There was oh my God, I'm picking my nose in front of you guys. I'm not picking my nose. I'm just joking. I'm just wiping my nose. But no, I definitely made a lot of mistakes throughout the years. There was one time we would get this one regular a lot. He was working for this pretzel company, and he would come in and, always get a double makers on the rocks. And, I would take care of him. We would talk and joke and all this other stuff. And there was one time where I don't know how, because he was my one friend's regular before, he started coming to my bar when she didn't work or stuff like that. But there was one day where we both worked, and I remember he came to my bar to say hi and stuff and get his drink. And then he went to the other bar. And he, was getting another drink over there. And I went over there. I remember going over there, and he was surprised, or he was like, oh my God, I got caught. I'm like, I don't care that you're over here, but okay. And I think she needed to get another Makers, a whole bottle of Makers. I can't exactly remember. My memory's so bad. But I do remember, getting the bottle of Makers, going back to the bar, and I dropped the whole bottle of Maker's Mark on the ground. I was so embarrassed. It was so bad. Fresh bottle. I don't even remember how it happened. All I remember was me trying to open the bottle and it slipped out of my hand and it fell on the ground and just shattered everywhere. The guy's face, he looked like he was going to cry. Like it was like he was so sad that I dropped the whole bottle. Mind you, I mean, we did have another bottle of Makers. Like, I'm not saying we didn't have another bottle, but he was so sad. I don't exactly remember what happened after that, but all I do remember is I had to tell my general manager. He was definitely not happy about that. I mean, I didn't have to pay for it, so that's good, but he was definitely not happy about that, and I have not seen that regular ever since. So I think I definitely hurt him a little bit. I don't know, but yeah. So I don't know. It's definitely hard. It's definitely hard. There's a lot of things that go into it, and that's why I feel like, the people who've been in the restaurant industry and know how things are, like we're like a little community, like we all know each other. And that's just why I wanted to make this podcast, because every time, sorry, I'm grabbing my notes because I might forget things, but every time I, have a person that used to bartend at my bar, like they get it and we talk and it's great. And so I just feel like, having like a little community where we can all talk and, about our little experiences and views on things. I think that's like great. I think it's a great thing. And I also feel like it's hard too, because whenever I tell people about things that happened at my job, they kind of just look at me like, you're not serious. I'm like, yes, I am serious. Like, this actually happened. Like, people did throw wings at my manager. Like, yes, it happened. Like, please believe me. So yeah, I feel like if we just sit here and have like a little talk and chat every Wednesday, it'll be great. It'll be great. And so yeah, that's just kind of what I've been doing. That's kind of my life a little bit. And yeah, I don't know. I think that's pretty much it. I think that's pretty much everything I want to like share with you guys. I feel like we didn't really get into much, but I can tell you about a little story though, a little story time before I leave. So I remember this one lady. I call her the Long Island girl because this lady would piss me off so bad. Hold on, let me get a drink of my coffee. Hair's in my face. Oh my God, there's hair in my face. Can you get out of my face? Okay, I got it. So, Long Island girl is this one lady who came in when I first started bartending, and I was not bad at my job. Okay, I don't care what she says. I'm good at my job. But so she would come in all the time, but our happy hour, okay, is 3 to 6. 3 to 6. And she would come in and sit at my bar at 5:59 and demand happy hour. Guys, that would drive me insane, because if you've ever been to a bar, okay, you know that you're not gonna get graded right away. Okay, it's impossible, especially if there's a lot of people, at your bar. You're just not gonna get graded right away. It doesn't matter what bar you're at. Sometimes, when the bartender isn't busy, you're gonna get greeted right away. But it's not always the case, okay? This lady, she would piss me off. I'm already getting heated right now. So she would come in at 5:59, or even better, come in after happy hour and demand happy hour. That doesn't work. It doesn't happen. So she's sitting here, like I see her, and this is my first ever time seeing her, right? So she wants happy hour. And she's like, can I get a Long Island? I'm like, yes, that's fine. I can get you a Long Island. And I'm nice at first because I'm like, well, our happy hour is about to end, but because how it works, let me break it down to the people who don't know, okay? How it works, when you ring in stuff on happy hour, okay, there's going to be a separate button in the system for happy hour, okay? So you click on that button and then you click Long Island and then it shows up happy hour price. Ooh, magic, right? But when happy hour ends, the button disappears, guys. Mind blown. Oh my God. Yes, the button disappears. It's not there anymore. So when you want happy hour and the button's no longer there, I have to ring it in regular price. What? Isn't that crazy? Yeah, I have to ring it up regular price and then I have to get a manager to comp off to comp it off to the discount price so you can get your stupid little fucking happy hour. But okay, don't put that part in there. People are going to think I'm such a bitch. But yeah, no, I was nice. I was like, yeah, happy hour ended already, but I will put it on there and, get a manager to take it off to, put the discount price on there. And she's like, well, I want 2 of them. And I'm like, okay, now you're pushing it. You're pushing it now. Okay, because I'm trying to be nice. Okay, and you keep pushing it. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just have to check with my manager. And so check with my manager. He's like, yeah, it's fine. I'm like, okay. And, I give her the 2 Long Islands, give her the happy hour discount, whatever. Next time I see her, happens again. She comes in like a minute before happy hour ends, wants to do the same exact thing. I'm like, telling her, I'm like, okay, we can do this, but next time you come in, I'm just not going to be able to give you the happy hour price. Like, I'm not going to be able to do it because, like, we weren't really supposed to do it in the first place. So she comes in this one day, and it is an hour after happy hour, guys. It's an hour after happy hour. Okay. And I see her and she just looks at me and she's like, can I get the 2 Long Islands and whatever? And I'm like, yes, but she didn't say happy hour price. So I'm like, she's got to know it's not happy hour. It's 7:00. Like, come on, what are we fucking doing? So I'm like, you know what? Like, she's fine. And so I make the drinks. I give them to her. And she's like, she's eating and drinking with her 2 friends and she's having a good time. And I'm just, doing my bartender stuff, taking care of other people, making drinks, whatever. And, she's about to, she asked for her check, a little later on, and she's about to pay. And she's like, weren't these supposed to be on happy hour? I'm like, no. I'm like, they're not. And she's like, no, I think these were supposed to be happy hour price. And I'm like, no, they're not. I'm like, when our happy hour ends, you come in here all the time. You know that our happy hour ends at 6:00. And so I'm like a little triggered because I'm like, this lady's like really pushing my buttons right now. I'm like, not trying to freak out, but I'm going to freak out a little bit. And so she's like, yeah, no, I think these are supposed to be happy hour price. And I'm like, no, they're not. And we're just kind of going back and forth a little bit. And she's like, and her friend's like, no, stop. It's fine. She's like, in the happy hour, her friend was basically defending me. And so I'm like, yes, thank you. Thank you for defending me. And, she pays and everything's good. She tries to go to the other bar to get happy hour and is complaining about me. I'm like, what are we doing right now? I'm like, why are you sitting here complaining about me? I'm being as nice as I can. I'm like, I'm really, really trying to be as nice as I can. But you're pushing my buttons So she's like saying that she needs to talk to a manager now to me, and that her drink, like her prices were wrong. I had to bring my manager out. Of course, he comped her drinks off. I'm like, bro, I'm like up to fucking here. Cause I'm like, she doesn't deserve it. Don't do it. Like, don't do it. She does not deserve it. But of course, you know, you got to cater to the customers. Customer's always right. Whatever. And he, you know, comped her drinks off and was taking care of her and stuff. Because then after, like, because she already paid, but she was complaining about it after she paid. So he just comped it off. And then after that, of course, she wanted more drinks and more food because she was complaining and saw that he was going to, you know, help her or, you know, cater to her. So she gets more drinks and shit. And I'm just like looking at him. I'm like, I'm not taking care of her. He's like, that's fine. Like, I'll take care of her. I'm like, okay. And I don't know what happened because I kind of like just stopped looking over there. I was just kind of taking care of everybody else and just kind of stopped like looking at that side of the bar because I really just didn't want to deal with it. And I remember her friend was cussing her out for literally giving me a hard time. And the Long Island girl like left because she was just like over getting cussed out by her friend. Her friend gave me, because the lady didn't tip me, by the way, never tipped me. She probably gave me like the most like $2, and she would run her bill up to like $80. And yeah, no, she would like never tip me. And so her friend, she came up to me with, you know, tips, with a like $20 tip, and she was like, here, this is for you. I'm so sorry that she's being such a bitch. Like, you take that. That's all you deserve it. And, you know, she went on her way. So I mean, I was like, thank you so much. Like, I appreciate it. And I never saw that girl since. And it has just been great. I just never forget about that girl because she really, and this is the thing, when, you know, I asked the people that interview, you know, like, does this industry make you lose patience, or, you know, have you have more patience, or give you more patience, I guess I should say. And for me, it's definitely been both. Like, I feel like there's instances where I'm like, yes, this has given me more patience. And there's other times where I'm like, there's just that one customer that just has your patience like this thin. And yeah, you just still got to deal with it. And that's just the realistic side of the restaurant industry. But yeah, that's pretty much a little bit about me. And I hope you guys like this episode. I hope that I did a good job with this because I was kind of nervous a little bit. But yeah, no, thank you guys so much, though, for being supportive, supporting the podcast, and just, you know, listening to me talk and rant about all of my problems, because, you know, that's just like what a podcast is about, you know, just ranting about your problems. But yeah, no, I definitely do appreciate all of you guys. Definitely comment and tell me what your view was about these stories, and just comment about, you know, like your experience, or just what your favorite part was about the episode. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening, and we will catch you in the next one. Bye.